Welcome to Lunch Money Bet. This is Ryan.
And this is Gilo.
And today we're going to be talking about the upcoming NFL 2020-2021 season. We're going to go through the list of every NFL team, and we're going to tell you guys if they're going to go over or under their projected total of wins in the regular season this year. Now, the list that we're using is from William Hill. It's the number one sports book out there, especially in Nevada, that we use. So we're going to go off that list, off the projected total of wins for each team, and we're each going to say our opinion of whether they're going to go over or under that total of wins. Dila, you want to get us started?
Yeah, let's get us started. So just a tip, if you guys use William Hill, you go to Pro Football and you go to Futures, and all of these are listed under the Futures. These are future bets, and we are going to go over or under the totals they give us. So starting us off, we have the Arizona Cardinals. They are set at 7 wins. Do you think they go over or under, Ryan?
I have under 7 wins this year for the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay, I have over, but I am a Cardinals fan, so I'm a little biased, but I think they have enough firepower to get 8.
After we're done with this episode, we're going to tally up and we're going to make a comparison sheet and see who is right at the end of the season. So this is going to be recorded and noted. So we're split on the Cardinals over under 7. Next team?
We have the Chicago Bears over under 8. I'm going under.
Absolutely under. No more explanation needed. The Bears are just not good, and they're in a tough division.
Next one, we have over under 5.5 for the Carolina Panthers.
They are in a you talk about a hard division. They are in one for certain. I'm going to say over 5.5 wins. I'm going to give the Panthers 6, possibly 7 this year.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think 5 is a little disrespectful for the Panthers. They have the best running back, in my opinion, in the NFL right now, in Christian McCaffrey, and I think you just can't count them out with 5 wins, even in a tough division like they are. Continuing, we have the Detroit Lions. They are set at 7 wins, over or under?
That's a tough one. I'm going to give the Lions over 7 wins this year. I'm going to say they win 8 or 9 games. I give Stafford a little bit more respect than that, and hopefully they can turn their franchise a little bit around. However, it's Detroit, and I doubt it. But I'll give them over 7 wins.
Yeah, I'll give them over 7 because I think they at least push 7. I think they at least win 7 games, 7-9 in my opinion. I think 2 of those wins come over the Bears.
500 or 1 game above 500 sounds good to me for the Lions. Next.
We got the Bills. They are over under 9 games. They are favorited to win the AFC East. Over or under?
Sheesh, 9 wins. I got the Bills winning 9 or 10 games this year, so I'm going to say over, but just slightly. I think that their division's going to be a little bit harder than people are expecting, especially with the addition of Cam Newton to the Patriots. I think that the Bills are going to be pushing 9. They're going to win between 8 and 10 games this season.
Yeah, I'll give them 9 or 10 as well. The reason I'm choosing 9 or 10 is because I think this division's competitive. It's going to be a lot like the Eagles and Cowboys. I think that the top 2 teams are going to get 9, maybe 10 wins. So that's why I'm going over on that one. Continuing, we're going to go to the Browns. They are set at 8.5 wins. I'm a hater. I'm going under.
Alrighty. This is the Browns' year to win the Super Bowl. Just kidding. But I will give them over 8.5 wins. I think the Browns, again, kind of like the Bills, I expect them to win between anywhere but 8 to 10 games. So I'll give the Browns over on that. And I'm not really a Browns fan. I'm a huge, I don't want to say hater, but I'm not a fan of Baker Mayfield at all. I don't think he's as good as what everybody else thinks. But the Browns simply have too much talent, over 8.5.
Yeah, I'm going under because I think Baker Mayfield's a little bit overrated. He has a lot of help.
Preach.
Yeah, he just has a lot of help, and he has played subpar for all the help he has around him. I think
he has too big of a mouth and been on too many commercials for his underperformance. It's one thing to overhype Dak Prescott, who's been underperforming with his hype, but Baker Mayfield is a whole new hype level of not matching up with his talent to how much hype he gets. Next team.
Final thought on the Browns, they go under and then they get rid of Baker Mayfield. That's how I feel this season's going to play out for them. Next team on, we have the Kansas City Chiefs, over or under 11.5 games.
First of all, I'm a huge diehard Chiefs fan, and I've been a Chiefs fan since I was in diapers. I'm from Kansas, grew up going to Kansas City games, so don't at me with telling me I'm a bandwagon fan by any means. I'm also biased on the Chiefs, absolutely over. I think the Chiefs win between 12 and 15 games this season. I think that they are absolutely loaded. They only got better since winning the Super Bowl. Please tell me why they wouldn't go over.
Yeah, I'm going over. I think they win 13 games. I think they lose a couple because it is the NFL and they have some competition. Denver and the Chargers.
Note this with the Chiefs, though. They're playing the division this year in the NFC. They play the division with the Saints and the Buccaneers. So note that their strength of schedule is going to be pretty tough. So
Yeah.
they're going to have to work to get over, but we like over 12 wins for sure.
Yeah, and the AFC West is tougher than people give credit.
Yeah, the Broncos are going to be a huge sleeper team, but we'll get to them. Go ahead, Dilo, next.
Yeah, the Jaguars, they are set at over or under 4.5 wins.
Oh my goodness, over. I know the Jaguars are horrible, but they're going to win over 4.5 games. Sheesh, I'm going to give them 6. Come on now.
Yeah, I'll go over just because that's such a low number.
I feel bad for Gardner Minshew too. He's a lot better than what people think, and I feel bad for him because during the offseason, the Jaguars fans and a lot of people were begging for the Jaguars to get Cam Newton and just totally threw him under the bus. And then they're still even debating on, drafting a quarterback in the next upcoming year. So I just think that that's really hurting the confidence of Gardner Minshew, who really played pretty well last season as a rookie. He's been great.
Yeah, I like the Jaguars. I think that they're not going to do much. I think they win 5 to 7 games. But
So you're going to give them over, though, too?
Yeah, definitely more than 4 wins.
Cool.
Continuing, we are going up to Minnesota with the Vikings. They are set at 9 wins. That's right about where I would have them. What do you think for this one?
Tough to count on Kirk Cousins, but 8.5 wins. Their defense has always been pretty outstanding. I'm gonna say over. I think they'll get probably 8 or 9 wins. Again, that's one where it's really pushing it. I'm not comfortable saying that.
Yeah, the over is set at 9. So are you going under?
Oh my goodness, over 9. I'm gonna have to say over because I'm gonna just hope for a push. Worst case that they get 9, but that's right what I think they're gonna get this season. So wouldn't be surprised if they got 8 or 10. Anything higher than 10 or less than 8 would surprise me.
Yeah, I agree completely. I would just stay away from this one if I had to choose.
They're not elite and they're not bad. Let's just say that.
Yeah, if I had to choose gun to my head, I would go over and hope for a push. I think they might get 10 wins. That's ceiling for me. Next, we got the Cowboys. They are set at over under 10 wins.
Arguably the most controversial team in the NFL. Always. Over under 10 wins this season. They're in the weakest division in football. I don't care what you tell me. The Redskins are probably the worst. I'm sorry, the Washington football team is probably the worst, and the Giants aren't much better. But the Cowboys did have some excellent additions in their offseason with CeeDee Lamb and a couple signings that they have had. Also, something to note in this episode, by the time it comes out, this may or may not happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if they added Earl Thomas somehow to their team now that he got released. But I will say the Cowboys over 10 wins. Let's give them 11 this year.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'm going under, bro. I think they get 9 wins, 8 wins. I think Dak Prescott's a little overrated. They have a lot of pieces, though, man. It's hard for me to choose that under, but I don't know what they're...
I'm not necessarily giving them the over because of them being great, but it's because of the lack of talent in their division. But I don't blame you for taking the under. We're split on. That's the second one I think we're split on, so we'll see.
Yeah. Continuing, we're going to LA to the Chargers. They are set at 8 wins for their over-under. I'd go under. I'm from San Diego, and I don't really like the Chargers, but I'm going under because I think 8 wins is their ceiling. I think that if they win 8 wins, that's a good goal for them.
8's their ceiling for sure. If it's 8.5 wins for the year, I'm going to say under. The Rams are in rebuild mode. Love the coaching, but they did a horrible job with their GM. Their signings, they spent a whole bunch of money on players, and it didn't result in them getting a Super Bowl. And now they're having all kinds of money problems, money issues, beefs with players. and the management. It's just a negative situation for the Los Angeles Rams going forward. I have nothing more to say.
I was talking about the Chargers for that one, but the Rams are set at the same exact line, and they were
Oh, I'm
next.
sorry. That's all right. Well, to be honest with you, the Chargers, I'm gonna say super under 8.5, but with the Rams, I'm gonna
8.
confidently say 8.5. But
Yeah.
if we're talking about the Chargers, I'm saying super under 8.5. That I think that Philip Rivers was a lot more important to their team than what they assumed, and I understand that they let him go and drafted new. Philip Rivers is 38 to 39 years old, and it was time for them to get a new quarterback. Rivers was aging, and he is on the decline of his career. But with that being said, that means the Chargers are not going to win more than 8.5 games. I feel great about that. How about you?
Yeah, I agree. The Chargers, I think that they are they're not necessarily rebuilding. I think they're trying to win games, but I think that they have too many new pieces to fit together in the crazy times we're living in right now, and I don't see them winning 8 games. Going on to the Rams, which you already spoke on, I agree with you entirely. I think that that locker room is a mess. I think they paid Jared Goff way too much, and he has underperformed after he got paid. The Rams are the worst team in the NFC West. Cardinals are better than them, and the Niners and the Seahawks are head and shoulders better than them.
Despite my confusion with our LA teams in this conversation, can we both agree that no football teams from LA will win the Super Bowl this year?
Oh, 100%.
Next.
My mind. The Tennessee Titans, they're over under setting at 8.5. I'm gonna go over, man. The Titans showed us a lot of life in the playoffs last year, and I think that magic carries over past 8.5 games. I think they win 9 to 11 games.
I think that the Titans have something special. I don't look for them to make a deep run in the playoffs. However, I think they're going to be as good, if not a little bit better than last season. They have a strong running game. They have a lot of potential on offense. I like the Titans to go over 8.5. I'm going to give them over.
Yeah, same. Moving to Cincinnati, the Bengals over under is set at 5.5. They have a lot of new exciting rookies, a lot of new pieces. They have been pretty mediocre and underperformed the last couple years, especially with Joe Mixon. What are you thinking? Over or under 5.5 wins?
Tough, tough, tough. Because right now the Bengals are one of my 3 worst teams in the NFL projected for this season.
Yes.
I'm gonna give the Bengals 5 or 6 wins. So I'm stuck on that. If I have a gun to my head, I'm gonna say under because I'm gonna say 5 wins. But I think it's very possible they get 6. If they went 500 this year, I would be absolutely shell shocked. You?
Yeah, same. I think the Bengals' floor is 2 wins. I think their ceiling is 7 wins. But I think they're trending more towards the floor with the new pieces. I think they are putting Joe Burrow in a really bad spot to start his NFL career, and I think they go under 5.5 wins.
Joe Burrow will be the truth, though. I really like him,
Yeah,
and
I
his ceiling is incredible. He just doesn't have the weapons around him yet. Next team.
doesn't have a line, man. Moving to Philadelphia, the Eagles are set at 9.5 wins, competitive with the Cowboys. These are the only 2 teams that are relevant in their division. A lot of it for me goes off of how healthy is Carson Wentz, and he's been healthy the last year, but I don't really trust it.
Everything depends on Carson Wentz's health. Um, if he's healthy all year, I am going to take Philadelphia to win the division. I have Philadelphia and the Cowboys both winning over 10 games, which means I have the Giants and the football team. I can't stop with that. The football team and the Giants going under probably 8 wins. So that's my take on that whole division right there. Next
Yeah,
team.
I think
Oh, sorry, you didn't say you're over under. My bad, bro.
it's okay. I think the Eagles are better than the Cowboys. I think the Eagles are going to get 10 plus wins, and I think the Cowboys are going to be right around 8 wins. Moving on, we are going to New York with the Jets, and they are set at 6.5. How do you feel about the New York Jets, Ryan?
The Jets. The Jets are going to go over 6.5 wins. Now, I don't think the Jets are going to be great or good by any means, but I think that they can win 7 or 8 games this season. I think Le'Veon Bell and the line will be more in sync and more improved going into this season. I still don't trust Darnold, but I'll give him 7 or 8 wins. You?
Ooh, that's tough, man. I'm gonna go over. I think they get 7 wins. Defense is sketchy, but their offense should be improving. Sam Darnold needs to show his worth this year. He's mediocre at best so far. Le'Veon Bell just needs to get more in sync with the line, and I agree with you that they're gonna get more in sync and get a little better. But their defense is what worries me. So I'm gonna go over.
Jets will be a bottom 10 team in the league, though, so irrelevant. Next.
Into San Francisco, we got the 49ers. They are set at over under 10.5 wins. They're in a pretty tough division. How do you feel about them?
Well, first of all, I want to give the 49ers a huge shout out for blowing the Super Bowl and giving it to my beloved Chiefs. 49ers, I don't hate you guys at all. You guys are great as long as you guys stay below us Chiefs. It's great to see that you guys did not get a ring last year and we did. So, with that being said, what's the over under again?
You got on a tangent, bro. 10.5.
10.5 wins for the 49ers. I'm going to say under. They're going to get 9 wins.
I'm going to go over. I think they get 11, and I believe the Seahawks are around that too. That's actually our next team. The Seahawks are set at over under 9.5 wins. I'm definitely going over, obviously.
Absolutely. This is one of our probably our best bets of going over. I feel really confident taking Seattle. I think they're going to win 11 to 12 games. I think they're going to be a top 5 NFL team this year when the regular season is over, going into the playoffs. Giving them respect.
I agree. Moving to Indianapolis with the Colts, the new look Colts. They're set at 9 wins for their over under. I think they have a lot of new faces and there's a lot of excitement in Indianapolis. However, I don't think they're going to perform. I'm going under 9 wins.
Man, that's a really good number set for them. Personally, the Colts did not do that bad last year with Jacoby Brissett, and most people, in my opinion as well, I think Rivers is an improvement, a significant improvement from Brissett despite Phillips' old age. I think that they're going to win 9 or 10 games this year. Let's say over. I'm going to say over, but I'm really rolling the dice there.
Yeah, I'm going under, and I feel like I'm rolling the dice. I think they're going to
This will be a judgment year for Rivers, though. If he doesn't play well this year, he might have to consider retirement.
Yeah, definitely. He has parts too. He has some good pieces in Indianapolis, a good defense and a good line as well. But we'll have to see. Next up, we got the Atlanta Falcons. They are set at over under 7.5 wins. That's right around where I would put them. I'd go under, however. I think that they have a lot of old players. I have a lot of respect for Julio Jones. Matt Ryan's getting a little washed to me, man.
Man, as bad as I was just hating on the 49ers for blowing a Super Bowl, I can't say that without mentioning the Falcons. Woo! Worst Super Bowl comeback and loss in history with the lead that they had. 7.5 wins over under this season. I think they're going to go over for this reason. Last year, the Falcons were absolutely horrendous to start the season, but towards the end, like the last 6 or so weeks, they really started to come on during irrelevant time. However, I think that they're going to take that momentum, and they still have some elite pieces on their team. I think the Falcons can go over 7.5 wins. With that being said, also, I don't think Gurley is going to be a significant help. So I'm not saying that because of any impact Gurley is having.
Yeah, my reason for going under is because they're the worst team in their division, no cap.
All right, next.
Next, we got the Las Vegas Raiders. It's weird saying that, but I'm excited for the Raiders. Shout out Ryan, who had season tickets. Don't know how that's going to work now, but they are set at 7.5 wins for the over-under. How are you feeling about the new Raiders?
Well, I'm a huge Chiefs fan, so obviously they're a big rival to us. However, I'm going to respect them, and I think John Gruden is a great coach. I think they have awesome talent, young talent on their team. I do not trust or like Derek Carr at all. No offense to him as a person, I just don't think that he's a very good quarterback at all. I don't think he's a starter in the league. However, with the coaching and the other pieces on the team, I'm going to say over, and I'm going to give the Raiders probably 8 or 9 wins this season. You?
I agree. I think the Raiders go around 8 wins, especially since it's at 7.5. I feel pretty good taking the over on that one. I believe the Chiefs and the Broncos are better than the Raiders, but I believe the Raiders are better than the Chargers this year.
The Raiders' ceiling is a wild card spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with that. Next up, we have the Broncos. Their over-under is set at 7.5. I am going to hammer the over for this one.
Wow. talk about getting a bang for your buck. The Broncos are going to win 9 or 10 games this season. I love it, and I love the bet on this on this situation because I hate the Broncos just as much as I hate the Raiders, but the Broncos are oozing with talent, and I'm telling you guys right now, Drew Lock is a superstar in the making. Just wait on it. The Broncos are going to be good this year. Great bang for your buck. Super over 7.5.
Yeah, definitely.
They also got Melvin Gordon in the offseason. Him and Philip Lindsay will be a great 1-2 punch.
Yeah, I agree with that. And they have Jerry Judy. They have some talent, man.
And they have Sutton. They I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you, if you want to place a future bet for the bang for your buck, take the Broncos to win the Super Bowl. Now, I'm not very confident that they are at all, but I'm saying for the payout, you would get a huge fat payout for that, and the Broncos are oozing with talent. So I'll leave it at that, and you can take it for what you want. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, the Broncos are a problem. That's my favorite bet so far going.
They're our favorite underdog this year going into the season.
Yep. Next up, we have the New York Giants. They are set at 6.5 wins. I like Daniel Jones. I think he's in a terrible spot. Saquon Barkley also is in a terrible spot. I feel bad for those two athletes. They're definitely going under 6.5 in my eyes.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them about 6 wins. So, since it's set at 6.5, under.
Yep, I think they win 3 or 4 games.
Facts.
Next, we got the Steelers. They are set at 9 wins. I don't know what to think about.
Ding, 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 ding. This is another one I love. Now, this is a super unpopular bet with the public. A lot of people like the Steelers to be good this season. I think the Steelers are going to be awful. I think Big Ben is going to be forced out of Pittsburgh to retire next season or sent to play elsewhere if he does not retire. I am hammering the under on Pittsburgh 9.5 wins this season. I'm giving them 7 or 8 wins. What do you think? I know that's definitely unpopular opinion.
I don't think it's unpopular. At least to me, it's not. Something's off with the Steelers, man. Especially them winning.
Ever since that Mason Rudolph situation, it's been funky in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I don't know what to think of the Steelers. I'd go under. Something seems off there to me. Continuing, we have the Green Bay Packers. They are set at 9.5 wins. They're in a pretty tough division with the Vikings. A good rivalry the last couple years. I think the Packers are going to do well this year. I'm going to go over 9.5.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to say the Packers win 9 to 11 games. So I'm not real confident, but pretty confident that they can go over. Like I said, 9 to 11 wins. You can have a Super Bowl MVP and one of the GOATs in Aaron Rodgers. Hard to not roll with that.
Yeah. Next, we have the Ravens. They are set at 11.5 wins. We are recording this video a little bit earlier than we are going to drop it. We're going to drop it pretty close to the NFL season. The Ravens have some drama going on right now with Earl Thomas.
Just released him today. And like I was speaking on the Cowboys a little bit ago, I think the Cowboys are going to pick up Earl Thomas. I know he has a history of wanting to play for them. But with that being said, the over-under for the Ravens wins might be subject to change because despite Earl Thomas not being a very good teammate and having a bad attitude, you cannot deny that he is the best, if not a top 3 safety, and has been one for years.
Looking at the over-under of 11.5, I'm going to go under with the Ravens. I like the Ravens. I think they're exciting. I think Mark Ingram's getting a little old, and I think that people are going to figure out Lamar Jackson a little bit. I think
Lamar Jackson is still going to be effective, but I think that simply the Ravens are so overhyped right now. They had a great season last year, but like you said, they were really unpredictable, and now that teams have had a year to study film and figure them out, I don't think that they're going to win over 11.5 games. Now, I do think that they can make a run in the playoffs. I do think that they are a problem, but I'm giving them 8 to 10 wins this season. Call me disrespectful, but 8 to 10 seems fair to me.
Yeah, took the words right out of my mouth. I think 8 to 10 wins. I think they make playoffs. I don't think they're winning 12 games. That seems insane to me. Continuing, we have the New England Patriots. They are set at 9 wins. They have the Bills in their division, but the Patriots, I think, are being a little bit slept on. I like them to go over 9 wins.
With the addition of Cam Newton is more motivated and inspired than he has been in his whole life. He's not getting paid a lot. He took a minimum contract, And there are so many teams that overlooked him coming into this NFL season. There's a possibility that he wasn't even going to get signed for a minute. So coming from a season, I think he was the 2016 NFL MVP, know that he still is oozing with talent. Cam Newton is going to play great this season. And on top of that, the Patriots are arguably a top 3, 5, or sometimes a number 1 defense throughout the year last year. I expect them to still be a top 5 defense. Why wouldn't they go over 9.5 wins?
Yeah, the Patriots are slept on, man. And Cam Newton has a huge chip on his shoulder.
And think about this. As much as I love Tom Brady, I kind of think that Cam Newton is an upgrade to the team right now. For where Tom Brady is in his career, I think that Cam Newton is a bit of an upgrade. However, with that being said, if there's 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, I don't care if Tom Brady's 80 years old. I will still always take Tom Brady. But I'm talking about game in, game out, full season. This year, I'm taking Cam Newton over Tom Brady. So Patriots improve a little bit.
Yes. Moving on to the Washington football team. We are set at 5.5 wins. I'm going under. I give them 3 wins.
I really have nothing to say. It's the Washington football team. They're the most irrelevant football team in the NFL. Shout out Ron Rivera, though. He was diagnosed with cancer, and prayers for him. I think that he's a great coach, and this is his first year there, but the team just sucks, quite frankly. Over under 3.5 wins tells you a lot right there. I'm going to give them over 3 wins. I'm going to give them 4 wins just for the fact that their division, they always seem to split games with each other. So there's 3 wins right there. So hopefully they can get one more out of that. And also something to note is Alex Smith has been, in talks of playing again. So if he's playing again, he might help him out a little bit.
Yeah. The Washington football team, they have a lot going on in their office off the field. The Dan Snyder, he didn't even want to change the name, so that's why they are the Washington.
You cannot be called the football team and be good. Like there's no good football team that was called the football team. Like that, I'm done. Get your team name together, rebuild, and come back in 5 years, and then we can talk about whatever team name is in Washington.
Yeah, he's worried about some other stuff too, man. He has some allegations coming towards him. Let's move on to the Dolphins. They are set at over under 6 wins. Yet another very young team, a lot like Cincinnati. I think the Dolphins have committed to a rebuild, and I think that they are working towards being a decent team. However, this is their first season together with a large amount of rookies. 6 wins is right about where I would put them. I think they get 5 wins. I'm going to go under.
Yes, I'm going to go under too. I'm going to give the Dolphins 3 or 4 wins max this year. Now, I think Tua has he does not even have a ceiling. He could be a great quarterback in the future. However, the Dolphins don't have very much support around him. And also something to note is Tua has always had a history with injury problems. So if I'm going to be betting money on the Dolphins, I cannot trust Tua to be healthy, especially with a subpar supporting cast. So I can confidently say that they will go under 6 games of wins this year.
Moving on to the Texans. They're set at 7.5 wins. I don't really know what they were doing trading D-Hop for a bag of chips, but that's not the direction I want to go in if I'm the Texans. I'm going under 7.5 wins. I think they're a mess. I have a lot of respect for Deshaun Watson. I hope he gets the heck out of there.
I hope he gets out of there too. I'm gonna give him over just because Watson's an elite quarterback. But I'm only predicting that they go 500. So I'm not giving him respect, but I'll give him over 7 wins, 7.5 even.
Fair. Moving on to the Bucks, the new look Bucks. They are set at 9.5 wins with Tom Brady, Gronk, Mike Evans, Godwin. I'm sure I'm missing other weapons too. They are loaded, but they are set at 9.5 wins. How do you feel about this one, Ryan?
As long as Tom Brady's healthy this year, I can confidently say that they will go over. You got to note that even though Tom Brady is on the decline of his career, he has a better supporting cast, especially on offense, than what he had at New England. And also, Tom Brady knows that he is very limited in his time left in the NFL. So he's going to be capitalizing on every opportunity that he has. And this is the year for him to capitalize. If he's going to get one more ring, this is the year he has to get it. He's going to be very urgent. I think that he's definitely gonna help the Bucks get over 9.5 wins. Let's
Yeah,
hope the old man and the old goat, the goat, stays healthy.
yeah, I'm going over 9.5. Something not a lot of people are going to talk about due to the weapons on the Bucks. Bruce Arians knows what to do with weapons. He is a nice offensive-minded coach, and I think he's going to get the most out of that offense.
Yes, sir.
Moving on, we go into the Saints, another great team. Their over-under is at 10.5 wins. Personally, I'm going to go over.
Woo, 10.5 wins this season. I'm going to say under. And this is a little bit random, but they've choked in the playoffs the last 2 or 3 seasons in a row. Whether you want to blame it on the refs or whatever reason, the Saints are choking regardless of whatever opinions are out there. I think that they're going to have an unlucky season and they're going to go in a rebuild mode. I know that's a very unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say under. I'm going to give the Saints 8 or 9 wins.
I think that the Saints are going to go over solely because them and the Bucks are going to they're going to compete. And I think they're both going to push each other and they're both going to be racing each other to get that playoff spot. And the second place in that division is going to be a wild card. So they're going to race to get out of the wild card. And I think that competition pushes the Saints over. I think the Bucks win the division, though.
Saints lose a bunch of close games this season and end up having the awkward transition from Drew Brees to Taysom Hill.
I want to give you one.
It's random, but that's what I'm going to roll with.
So that's all of our picks for the over-unders for every NFL team. But I want to go over one more thing with you, just a little surprise at the end here. Who do you think wins Rookie of the Year this year? Offensive Rookie of the Year. We got Joe Burrow, Edwards-Helaire, Tua Tagovailoa, Jonathan Taylor, Ruggs, Lamb, Judy, DeAndre Swift. A lot of great players in this rookie class. Who do you think wins?
It's very easy. Go put your money on this right now. Put it on Edwards-Helaire for the Chiefs. He's going to be their number one running back this season. As long as he doesn't fumble the ball, he's going to get a lot of workload. And it's hard to not get open space and open field when you have so many weapons on the Chiefs team. So he's going to have every opportunity. As long as he doesn't fumble the ball, he's going to get Offensive Rookie of the Year. I don't see a quarterback getting it. Usually it's a quarterback that gets Rookie of the Year, but I think that Joe Burrow is going to struggle too much with the Bengals line, and the Dolphins obviously don't have a supporting cast for Tua. So I think Edwards shines as the Chiefs shine. What do you think?
I'm going to go with a dark horse. I'm going to go with Jerry Jeudy. I think he has a good year. I think he has good weapons, and I think that those other weapons on his team are going to take pressure off him and allow him to shine. I agree with you. I just don't see a quarterback winning Rookie of the Year. I mean,
here's my reason. I'm not mad at you for picking Judy to possibly win Rookie of the Year on offense, but this is my thing with him is he may not get the workload like other receivers or running backs may get due to they still have Cortland Sutton on the team, who's another young, outstanding talent. He may be a top 10 receiver in a couple of years. So I think that Judy's workload is going to be a little bit divided up. However, his potential is insane.
Yeah, I like him. He's at 16-1 odds. Edwards is at a plus 450 as of right now. And
Go put a future bet on both of them.
The only quarterback that I would put a future bet on, and it would be very small, I would put it on quarterback for the Eagles. He just got picked up for the Eagles.
Jalen Hurts.
I would put like $2 on him. He's at 80-1 odds. So
you're crazy for that. If you guys are gonna put a future bet in for offensive rookie of the year, put it on Jordan Love for the Packers, because if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt and goes out, those odds are going to be like over 100-1. So Jordan Love, if you want a Hail Mary play for offensive rookie of the year.
That's my reason for picking Hurts. I think Wentz is injury prone, and I think he has a decent chance of getting some playing time.
The Eagles also have a receiver, Jalen Reagor, who's going to be outstanding this year. He may be one of the best receivers in the future of the NFL. Look out for him. What about defensive rookie of the year, D'Lo? Who you liking?
Yeah, let me go through the list real quick. I'm going to pull it up.
I'll tell you right now, it's going to be Chase Young. For the Washington football team, despite them being awful this season, they got a banger in Chase Young. That dude is the truth. I think also Isaiah Simmons has a chance.
Yep, I'm going to go with Isaiah Simmons. I think that with the Cardinals, he's going to be a little bit more relevant in that race than Chase Young is in his division. Like, we know the Washington football team's going to be bad, but Chase Young is going to get his. He's a plus 200, which is the favorite. Isaiah Simmons is a plus 800. I like Isaiah Simmons solely for the fact that he's going to be running around making a lot of tackles for the
And he'll
Cardinals.
be a little bit more in the spotlight because
Yep.
usually when NFL teams are really bad or one of the worst teams in the league, they don't get as much TV time or talked about as much. And the Cardinals have a lot more potential going into this season. So both of those I feel like are great future bets for defensive rookie of the year. So now you got defensive, offensive rookie of the year predictions from us. And then you also got every single team in the NFL and our prediction on if they're going to go over or under their projected wins. We look forward to going over a couple more juicy NFL topics as the season goes on. Other than that, check out our Instagram. We have merchandise in our bio. It takes us to our YouTube channel here. And other than that, we give out free predictions daily. So hit us up in the DMs.
Yep. Thank you guys for joining. Lunch Money out.